Hi, friends and family. How are you? How have you been? How is life? It's my sincere hope that life is treating you well. And even when it's not very well, we have to press on to be well. That's the spirit. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eunice Jero. This YouTube channel is called Eunice Jero by my name. And here I talk about real things in life, what faces us in life. I also cook in this channel. When I am cooking my food, I do sometimes, not all the time, do it on camera and I share the same with you, but I eat for you. You can try it on your own because you're out there. So I eat on your behalf. And the food I usually make is just simple meals, simple recipes which anybody can make. I am not a professional chef, so I just cook because I love the kitchen. But when I'm not cooking on this channel, I talk to you. And I talk to you about what is in my mind, about what is happening out there, that which is with us. And we may not even know how to talk about it or how to approach it because we do not know how. But somehow, when we talk about it, we start getting the way forward. We start getting how we can do it. So that's that's the energy I put here, and that's what I do. So if you like my energy, please subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. If you want to encourage me, please subscribe. Those who have already subscribed, thank you very much. Let us continue sharing this information. Information is power. When people listen to one person and another and another and another, you never know who may be helped by what you're saying and what you're sharing. Our audience in social media is out there. And out there includes you and I, and you and I, and another you and I, and another and another. You may not know who is suffering and needs this information to pull them out from where they were, to bring healing to what they were going through, to see life in a different perspective, and to appreciate themselves as individuals. And finally, to find worth of life, to find joy, to find happiness, and to appreciate that they have the gift of life for every minute, for every day. It's important to know that the greatest gift in life is being alive. And as long as you are alive, life is not done with you. And life can change anytime too for a better. You don't have to stick there and think that you are all alone. You are not alone in this journey. And there's nothing which is new on this planet Earth. What you're facing today, somebody faced it somewhere, and somebody has a solution to it somewhere. We only need to build up a family. We only need to build up and extend our networks, and we shall find these solutions somewhere. And we shall bring in people with solutions to our needs, to what is making us stagnate, to what is making us not find fun in life. It's out there with somebody. It could be a want, it could be a something tangible, it could be anything you may not even imagine, because we imagine to the maximum, but we leave the rest to nature. So welcome. Let's do live. Let's talk. Let's help one another. And today, I want to talk about people who are hurting. We know they are hurting ourselves. We can see them hurting, but they are not ready to share. How do we help such people who are not open to us? We are quick to go to the individual temperaments and say that that one is an introvert. He cannot talk. He cannot talk. Or the male, according to the African culture, the men do not talk a lot. They don't share their life. But they're hurting. Do we stand with that and accept, okay, let them hurt, and finally they commit suicide, or they kill themselves and kill others, or they damage themselves, or they break down? Mental health is a real thing. Do we allow people who we know to continue suffering when we know we can help? Because we do not know how. We've got to give people space. I accept that. But again, we've got to help them so that they don't endanger their lives, and they don't endanger the lives of others who are close to them or who come across them. How do we go about it? Point number one, nobody on earth lives alone or who does not know anybody. Man is a social being, and you know somebody. Even the person hurting knows somebody somewhere. And you know why you know they are hurting? Is because they know you and you know them. So we start from there. I know you. You know me. You know I'm hurting, and I know, or maybe you know another person whom you know is hurting. We could be even 3 people and we know a certain person is hurting. But that person keeps their lives very private. They are hurting inside their heart. They are not healed. And we do not know. Sometimes we may know what is causing the hurt, but sometimes we do not know because they have not shared. The very best thing, the very best step is to come up with a strategy. I know you know, and you can. A strategy where the person hurting, will be in your presence as you talk about these issues which hurt people comfortably without showing the hurt. Being empathetic, not to them direct, but to others in a discussion. When you know somebody is hurting because maybe they lost a loved one and that trauma is still with them, you need to be in a presence of people who have lost someone, and your friend or your relative is also there, and bring up the topic. Let the person who lost someone try to talk how they are coping. Let them speak of how they are dealing with the situation facing them. As they talk, the hurting person who is very quiet, who does not talk, is getting something, is capturing something in their mind. They may not talk, but they are learning something. When I talk about my childhood, let's assume that it's my childhood which caused all these traumas, and I am not dealt with my childhood. I have not come to terms with my childhood, and so I'm this quiet person. And it's because my childhood wasn't okay. And I feel that I cannot trust anybody because those who are supposed to take care of me, my caregivers, molested me. I'm giving an example. This is not me. I'm just taking an example of a client like that or person like that. What do you do to such a person? Such a person needs to be in a situation where we are talking about our childhood. All childhoods have not been 100% okay. Traumas of childhoods are there depending on where you came from. They may be different. Somebody might be dealing with rape as a child, and another one is dealing with being beaten and flogged as a child. It's a trauma. Another one is dealing with being forced and taken away from your parents and given to foster parents. That's a trauma. Another one is dealing with sleeping hungry as a child. That's a trauma. Another one is dealing with, we didn't even have a daddy at home. He was coming, and when he came, he was this violent person. That's trauma. Another one is dealing with, I grew up with a stepmom because my mother died when she was little. That's trauma. all these traumas. Another one is dealing with our relatives sent us away because when our dad died, they wanted the property from our father and they sent us away. We ended up in the street and all those. That's trauma. What do we do to see these people? We need to talk about these traumas positively, not in an accusatory way, showing how we have shaped our lives because of what we faced, and we didn't want that what we faced to dictate our today. So you need to bring that person to an encounter where somebody is speaking of how they took up that, and instead of wallowing themselves in pity, they focused to be better person. There's nobody who cannot heal. There's nothing which cannot be healed. It is all in our minds. If we close up our mind, we shall never open up for the bad things to come out and the good things to enter. What I'm saying is, we bring this person close to us, not going to ask them about themselves. No, because we are not supposed to enter into their space unless they want. So we talk about it. I can bring a topic, even if it was in a party or somewhere, very informal. We talk about it, even if it is in church groups. We talk about the many traumas people go, the many things people pass through. We give examples. Give example with yourself if you didn't want to help. Be open. Doesn't matter. Let the person know that they are not alone. People pass through stuff in life and people come out. You know what is happening when this person is listening to you talk about all these things, and they then end up laughing at them and seeing what was all that I was betrayed and now I'm quiet here, very, very lonely and crying and pitying myself of our relationship which died. When you talk about such a relationship and you came out of that pity and you went to life and ventured into the future very strongly, became this strong woman, this strong man, this great father, this great husband, you are telling the other person that you can also make it. Even if they may not tell you you have helped them, even if they may not say because they do not want to open up, but believe you me, you have helped that person. And as we continue talking about these things in the positive, not cursing, not bringing the bitter memories, but showing how funny it was, how we came out in a twinkling of an eye and we started seeing, we became nostalgic about it. After all, we need to visit those kiosks where we ate mandazi when we have not washed our hands. You know, when you talk about it in a funny way, in a way to show that you can heal, you can come out. We are healing ourselves and the others as well. Because healing is a journey. And we continue in this life healing every day. Because we face different things in life, different, and we associate with them differently. How we perceive them, we are different. That one I accept. But believe you me, after doing that initial step of talking about it positively, the next step you will hear that other person who did not want to talk come up with the story themselves. And the minute they open up, the journey has begun. It is a breakthrough. The minute a person speaks about their traumas, that is a breakthrough, the first breakthrough. Because now, this person has already created confidence in the person they are sharing with. This person has already now created a kind of, I can trust you with this information and I want to work with you in this journey. Something to note there, which I want us to work on, you and me and everybody else who come across this video. We need to build ourselves such that we can be trusted. We need to build ourselves such that we come out from the point of being judgmental on people's ways of life and being accommodative in a very confidential manner. When somebody opens up and that is something they had kept in their heart for many years, if it gets out to a third person, that person crashes totally. You crash the person such that they'll never, you have proved to them that people are not trusted. But if you trust them and they trust you, and you maintain confidentiality, you keep their secrets to be their secrets, you create an environment to them that surely people can be trusted, then they can continue now trusting more and more, and that brings about healing. Let me tell you an example. There are those things or those events in life which we call open to everybody, but they are open secrets. The person, the thing is out there. We know about it, but the person who is involved has never shared about it. Let it remain as secret as they want. Do not talk about it at all. When you're with them, let them know you do not know until they'll share with you. Let me give an example of a person who is undergoing divorce. Divorce is a painful thing to anybody undergoing it. Whether you want to relieve yourself from a traumatic marriage or from abusive DV, yes, there will be a certain kind of trauma because of separation. There will be a certain kind of feeling you have failed, even if it is not you who betrayed yourself. There is that feeling. And when divorce is going or it has happened and separation, it's out there. We know it. We know so-and-so was divorced. We know so-and-so is undergoing divorce. But let me tell you, that person treats that thing as a secret. That's why they don't talk about it. That's an open secret. It's open to you, yes, but to them it's still a secret. They don't want to talk about their marriage. Even if it's breaking down totally and you can see it's breaking, they do not want. So treat it as a secret as they want it treated. Don't go greeting people and tell them, I'm sorry, I heard you are divorced and all that. You are now opening up a wound. Don't even think it happened. Stay with them the way you used to stay with them when they were married. Until themselves they'll open up their mouth to tell you. That means they have come to terms with reality. And if you want them to come to terms with reality, usually call you that friend of yours who is divorced to other meetings where we have other people divorced. Talk about how they are coping. Let them talk. They are divorced. Let them talk how they are coping. That way, your friend can come out and say how she wants to cope and really seek for help from the others who have gone through that. But it should not be you telling them, okay, I need to help you out to cope. No. You don't suggest to somebody about their life. Let us help them informally until they want to come out. When they come out is when now we can take the bull on the horn and tell them the reality of life. But with love. With love. We do not want to lose anybody. We do not want to suffer people when they are knocking down because they are being depressed and the final thing they do is to commit suicide. We do not want that to continue in our society. Finally, and this one I should have given as a warning, because the very first thing we are quick to tell somebody when the person is hurting is pray about it. I don't deny we can pray about it, but praying about it and bringing God should be the final step. Don't be quick to bring God being the first step. And I'm a Christian and I'm saying this. Do you know why? when somebody is hurting and you bear me witness, we are quick to blame God. And it is normal. We blame ourselves at God. So when you bring in God and tell God this problem, yet the person is blaming God, you are not reaching anywhere. You are not solving any problem. Because for one, if somebody has lost a job, and the person was working very well and hard working, how do you tell them that God wanted it to go? How do you even bring that topic of it is God? Who knows? Yes, he knows. I don't deny that. But in this situation, does God know already when I don't have rent? So that person may not come to terms with your conversation when you bring in God. So I suggest that after we have walked the first step of letting the person open, come to terms with the reality, then we bring in God and we tell them, okay, now the final step and what we need to do so that we can get out of this is to commit it to God. Let God bring peace and healing to you as we walk life. Yes, you lost your job. Yes, I lost mine last year. I applied for unemployment. You give all those stories. And then they see, you give other ways we can apply this. And after you have done all that, tell them, let's commit it to God. Because finally, and I speak finally, the ultimate source of our life is God. And he understands every situation we face on earth. So we will still go back to him. So every therapy, and this is for me. This is for me. I know there are people who don't believe in God, but for me, every therapy should end with God. He's the greatest therapist. But we have to go the steps of human being, as normal as our minds can tell us. And then we commit our minds to God, and God will hold them so that we don't knock down and the others don't knock down. So let's help them as human beings, but leading them towards God, who is the ultimate, who can give a whole new mind, who is not limited. That is why we have doctors, we have nurses, we have teachers, we have all these, and still we have pastors, we have prophets, we have apostles, we have evangelists. We need to be balanced, both mentally, physically, spiritually. All of them. The balanced person is the one who does not lean on one side only. Is the person who stands, yes, I know God, and this is what I should do as man. This is the part where my spirit is. And this is the physical life. And my soul and my mind tells me this. I have the free will to choose God or to choose the other. But do not at all endorse to anybody. Even God himself, he doesn't endorse. So do not endorse. God does not endorse salvation to us. He's given us the mind, the free will. We have to choose to follow him. Let even your friends choose to follow him. Do not endorse, especially anybody who is going through stuff. If you endorse, they will hate your God. And they will never see anything good with God. Because they'll feel it's when somebody is suffering, the mind is just congested, githeri, bosho, everything, sukuma wiki. You can imagine that plate, okay? Kuna nyama, kuna mchele, it's all congested. Like that is a mind of a person who is not able to process things which are in their minds because of suffering. You don't bring anything else. You fast and unclog the mind, unclog the mind, unclog. And once you unclog one by one, then they are left to embrace the ultimate. And once they embrace the ultimate, now healing comes, and this is called complete healing. Complete healing is in the soul, in the mind, in the heart. and then the physical can now start. The person can appreciate the exercises. The person can know how much to eat and not to overeat or not to refuse food. The person can know where to go. You don't rush to the bottle to kill your stress. You don't run to wherever, whatever many things people do to run away from stress. So it has to be total healing, and total healing comes ultimately when we commit to God. So we walk steps, and ultimately we commit to God. I wanted to share that because most of the times we miss the steps. And when our people now get completely broken down, that's when we start saying, they did not share, they did not share. Nobody who is in trouble can share. We are created differently. People treat their issues as secrets. And even you have your secrets. Why do you want another one to tell you their secret? You have to walk and work until they come out, until they are ready to share with you. And once they share, be confidential. Men, share please. Men do not know how to share. I don't know why, but it is a culture which we need to break from. Fellow men can help other men, because women may not help a man very easily. We are not able to reach to their hearts. But friends of men who are hurting, talk to your people. Build up a society of helping one another. Help your boy child. Let us come out from this problem which has struck us, our generation, that our people are just dying because they are not able to cope with life. They are taking away their lives. It's sad. Thank you very much. Continue sharing, continue subscribing, continue, and let's change the world one day at a time, and we change the world positively. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.